I want to give individuals an opportunity to join today. And I just want to spend just a few minutes talking a little bit about not letting your feelings stop your flow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome all that are joining me live. Welcome all that will catch the replay. I am Angela, your success coach. I challenge women to grow in success and to truly be an authentic version of who you are. I wanted to come on today and share with you just a little bit around the concept of not letting your feelings stop your flow. Yeah. Not letting your feelings stop your flow. You know, how often do you find yourself in a scenario where you feel some type of way, but at the end of the day, because you let your feelings stop your flow, the only person that was adversely affected was you? How often? I encourage you to like, share, tag someone who may find this impactful to their life. But I want to just dive in. You know, sometimes because our feeling cup is so full, we find ourselves secretly putting ourselves in a position where we refuse to take on any new relationships, where we refuse to be open to any other friendships, where we maybe even abuse the ones that we have. We find ourselves in a position where we're like, my cup is full. My cup is full. I'm afraid to add any more because it may overflow. And we know what it looks like when our cup overflows. The song that I was playing at the beginning of this was by Chandler Moore. It was shared with me by one of my clients, and I so appreciate her for sharing this song with me. And it kind of resonated, and it really does drive home this point for today. The beginning of this song says, I won't pretend. I'll say what I'm feeling. I'm overwhelmed. Emotions are raging. And then the hook says, it's okay to not be okay. I won't try to hide. Love leaves room for me to say that I'm not okay. To every fear, every lie I heard, love leaves room for me. And as I really just begin to just sit with this song a little bit, it put me in a position where I wanted to talk about fear. Where does fear and how does fear drive my feelings? And as a matter of fact, how do I, because I know that it does, how do I prevent it from stopping my flow? Like, how do I turn this fear thing into fuel? How do I shift from fear stopping me to fear being a motivator? How do I make it so that fear is not me sitting on the side of the road, but me being at the gas station filling up my tank? How do I keep moving even though I'm fearful? You know, the more I think about fear, I think I'm going to introduce it into a new 4-letter word. You know, it goes right on along with all of the others. They prevent our growth. They make us stagnant. They prevent us from going forward. So I'm going to introduce a new 4-letter word, fear. So we have a new curse word added to the book. Not that we need it anymore, right? So the 3 points that I want to talk about with you today is what we have to do. Number 1 is find the root. The root. From where does it grow? And then let's look at our feelings. Understanding and identifying our feelings. And then once we've identified what the root of this thing is, and we understand our feelings, then we need to know how to grow in it, like grow in success, grow in this area that we've identified that we have a gap. For those that are just joining, one more time, I'm Angela. I'm your success coach. And my why, my purpose is to be here to challenge you, the successful woman, to grow in success and to truly be an authentic version of you. That version that leaves you in awe, like, yo, I did that. Yeah, that was me. Did you see that? That's the version of you that I challenge you to be. In order to do that, there's some work that we have to do. We have to start on the inside and work out. So what I'm really saying to you is we can look real good on the outside. We can present a facade where those that look at us and what we have might even perceive that, we got it going on. You may have even heard me say, you might look like you live in the Huxtable life. But as time has passed, we really understand what was going on in the Huxtable house. I'm just saying. Real talk. What I want you to be able to do is to leave that legacy behind. I want you to have that opportunity to impact and stop those things that have come from generation to generation, and you be the stop point. I want you to be able to flourish in whatever it is that you desire. But I do need to tell you that starts with you. It doesn't start with mama and them. It doesn't start with him. It doesn't start with the children. It starts with you. You are the foundation. So let's talk about this root thing. Why is it important to understand the root of our fears? So when we think about the root of our fears, what I need you to understand is that root colors your outlook on life. So if I had to give you a scenario, if you had on a pair of glasses that had a red tip to them, when you look out into the world will have a red tint. And so on and so forth. So if you had on a red pair and I had on a blue, what I see is different from yours. So the root, the past traumas, the past things that have occurred in your life, they put that filter over how you do things. They put that filter over why you do things. They're the reason why something very small happened, but you went from 0 to 100 in 2.2. It didn't even have anything to do with the actual situation. But see, what was happening is that somebody was tapping into the root. They didn't even know, y'all. They had no idea. They had no idea or understanding that they were they were tapping into a place that they didn't want to be, but they received the response that had been suppressed. That's what they got. They still confused. Yeah. But it's because that past trauma has colored your outlook on life. But see, when we identify that root, let me tell you what it gives you the opportunity to do. It enables you to let go of what was so that you can embrace what truly is, like the truth. Embrace what is so that you're not carrying around layers of things that don't even matter. One more time. It's going to allow you to let go of what was so that you can embrace what is and stop carrying around layers and layers of what doesn't even matter. That's what uncovering the root will allow you to do. Let's move on to point 2. In point 2, it's about understanding, acknowledging your feelings. So when things happen and you feel some type of way, trust it. Trust your feelings, but trust it enough to pause and understand what's the root of this feeling. Because what I'm not saying is that because you feel this way when this person did it, that they are entitled to the response that you want to give them because there's an underlying issue. What I'm saying is trust your feelings to acknowledge that there's something that you need to address. There's a root in the ground. So this requires you to pause. Sometimes you can't just react. I'm challenging you to have enough emotional intelligence to know when you need to stop. Just chill for a minute and assess yourself before you again go from 0 to 100 in 2.2 seconds. Pause. Think, what's this feeling? What something's coming over me. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm talking fast. I'm sweating. It ain't hot in here, y'all. I'm sweating, my legs shaking. I'm rolling my eyes. I'm popping my lips. Whatever it is that you do when you feel in some type of way, you might just go quiet. You might be the silent type. You might shut down, going and be, I just need to be by myself. Trust and acknowledge your feelings, and then go back and look, what's the root of this thing? Because that's what needs to be addressed. Okay. I'm going to just touch here real quick and tell you that we are masters of suppression. Masters. So things can occur in our life, and we might take a step back and walk away from it for a little bit. But when we come back, we act like nothing ever happened. We're suppressing, stuffing that stuff down, deep down. But it don't go nowhere. It's there, festering, molding. It stink. That's what's causing your attitude to be the way that it is. Visualize this. You have a bag of onions, and one of them, now I keep my onions in the pantry. I don't put them in the refrigerator. So I need you to roll with me. If you put yours in the refrigerator, then maybe potatoes, whatever it is, I need it to be, a vegetable. It's in the pantry. It's not in the refrigerator. And one of these onions rolls out of the bag up into a crevice in the corner. And it's there for days, months, maybe even years. This onion has been suppressed. What does my pantry smell like? At this point, what does my kitchen, my house smell like? What is the reaction of people when they open the pantry door and that smell hits them? Who wants to be around my pantry? My pantry. Who wants to be a part of that stench where it smells so bad that I got to figure out whether or not it's on me? Everything that I have now smells like it. Everything that I do now reeks of it. That's what's happening when you suppress. And then one day, when you find that onion and you pull it out, oh my, what does it look like? It's molded. It's ranking for real. That's what happens when we suppress. I'll even go as far as to say suppressing your feelings affects your health. Suppressing your feelings affects your relationships. It affects your ability to even have one, affects your ability to love. It affects every facet of your life. If you have a business, it affects it. If you're in corporate America, it affects it. Everything that you're attached to is affected by all that stuff that you suppressed. I just wanted to just take a quick break and just talk about that just a little bit. Our last point is growing. So we talked about identifying the root, right? Truly identifying what's the root of this issue that I have. Where did it start? Where did it come from? We then talked about how it colors my outlook on life, right? And how important it is for us to let go of what was so that we can embrace what is and stop carrying around those layers of what absolutely does not matter. And then we talked about using our feelings as those signals to show us where we're wounded, to identify where the root is. The last piece is that we need to grow in those areas. So you cannot give what you didn't get. If you didn't get it, you can't give it unless you grow in it. So I don't want you to have the illusion that just because I have a root of untrust, because I have a root of lack of love, because I have a root of abandonment, that doesn't mean that that's all you can produce. If you go through this process and grow in these areas, so once you identify that, listen, I'm dealing with abandonment, you'll begin to see in your life where you're issuing abandonment. But when you have that opportunity to pause and grow in this area, learn, work on it. No, it's not going to be easy, but it will remove those limiting beliefs that you have in your life. It will remove the lies that you've told yourself about yourself. It will open you up to receive love and give it. To be able to be open to these relationships and friendships, to be able to prosper in all of the areas of your life. So, yes, I'm telling you that if there's a root that you're dealing with in your life that you have not addressed, that you're bearing fruit of that root, I'm telling you that the way that you can identify the roots that are in your life that you need to dig up is by trusting your feelings. And then to grow in these areas. So when I say grow in success, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm talking about identifying where is there a gap and then growing enhancing yourself in that space. Yeah. So listen, that song that I talked about before, it was It's Okay by Chandler Moore. And again, he says, I won't pretend. I'll say what I'm feeling. I'm overwhelmed. Emotions are raging. But his chorus says, it's okay to not be okay. I won't try to hide. Love. I'm going to replace love with God. God leaves room for me to say that I'm not okay. To every fear, every lie I heard, God leaves room for me. He leaves room. If you didn't catch this at the beginning, I encourage you to catch the replay. As you begin to sit with this and think about, what roots am I dealing with? What seeds, what bad seed am I bearing? Share, drop it in the chat. Let's have some dialogue around it. Again, I'm here to help you grow in success. We're all successful at some magnitude. There is a level of success that every last one of you have achieved, hands down. But there's always opportunity for us to grow further. And I'm here to challenge you to do just that, grow in success in every arena of your life. I'm here to support you in that. I'm here to hold you accountable to the things that you desire to do. Not to dictate what I perceive you should be doing. It's your life to live. It's your vision to fulfill. It's your purpose to walk. But to support you in doing that, to help you to identify, what is it? What is it that I am to be? And then how do I take those steps to do just that? I want to give you the very first step. The very first step, if this session has impacted you at all, take the success language quiz. It's step number 1. It is designed to truly help you to begin to understand who you are, where your opportunities are, where your strengths are. Understand your success language. The link will be in the description. Again, tag others. If you know someone who you feel that would benefit from this message, tag them and give them that opportunity to learn their language as well. Thank you for taking the opportunity to just check in. I appreciate each of you, and you have a phenomenal evening.